Hello, good evening parents. I apologize for this video coming to you very late. Actually, the original meeting that we'd had, I had not recorded it, so I've had to re-record this, which is why it took a while. So I understand some of you have been a little anxious about it, but I'll walk you through everything now so that you know exactly what we are doing. This was the parent orientation we had on last Sunday, where I talked about how we will be uploading our videos for the Trinity College digital examinations. This is specifically for the initial grade students and the grade 1 students. So let me start with the screen share, because that will allow me to explain to you step by step exactly what we are doing. Right. So far, we have paid all the examination fees. So the kids are now enrolled for the exams. What will happen is now that we've paid the fees, within 10 to 12 days, they will send us a login with which we will upload all the students' performances, for which you will have to send us all the recordings of the students' work. Now, so far this week, all the teachers have gone through and taken the final extra practice of our students. I'm really, really happy to say that from what I have seen, our students are doing really well. They're well prepared and they've worked extremely hard. And really one point I'd like to bring up and appreciate is that not one of the students has really complained about how long it has taken. We were supposed to do this in September and October. The fact that it has gone on to December and they've patiently gone through this entire process with us, I really, really appreciate what the students and the parents and all my other teachers have done with us. So now the first thing we should do is, so the kids are now finally practiced and ready and raring to go. Right, I hope all of you can see the PPT. Now, the general timeline that we had shared at the meeting was that we will have our final extra practices by Thursday this week, and you will send us the final recordings by Sunday the 6th. We will recheck everything during the 7th and 8th, and by the 11th, we should have every single exam recording ready to upload on the 12th when we get the login, so that at least the initial and first graders go right through and there are no hitches for them. So we have already finished by now. When you watch this video, we have already finished our extra practice. So we are now on Friday the 4th. So I expect all of you to start recording. In fact, we've received some of the final recordings of very, very few of our students, and they have been very good so far. So this is the general timeline. So by this Sunday, I would like everyone's final recording to have been sent to us. Now, the initial graders, the exam goes on for about 8 minutes. And for the first graders, it's about 10 minutes. Some of the children have been sort of calling in to say, oh, our recordings are 5.5, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. As long as it stays within the time limit of 8 minutes for grade initial and 10 minutes for grade 1, there is absolutely no problem. Now, the flow of the exam, how will you record it? For initial grade, they will first, you have the space ready and they're standing there and they will say, hello, my name is Nerges Dodhy and I'm appearing for my initial grade exam in speech and drama. Once they say that, then they will start with their story. They don't have to say, I'm going to say my story or I'm going to say my poem. Just start off. The Three Angels, story from Cuba, and start off with the story. Then they do count 1, 2, take a slight pause, then go on to the poem. After that, they will do the reflection questions. I will address the reflection questions with you in detail. After the reflection questions, when they finish the questions, they will say namaste and thank you, and you will stop the recording. It's as simple as that. For grade 1, they will say, hello, my name is Nerges Dodhy and I am appearing for my grade 1 exam in speech and drama. Then they will say namaste, an extract from Spinning Top by Nitya Satyani, Bad Brad, or whatever the story is, whatever their little prose piece is, all the initial graders have to do their prose piece. Once the prose piece is over, count 1, 2 in your mind and let them then go on to either the poem or the mime. They are not doing both. They will do poem or mime, and this has already been decided by the student and teacher together. And we have told the children what they're doing, and we've practiced that with them. So once they finish the prose or mime, whichever they're doing, then they will go on to doing the reflection questions. So, and once the questions are done, you will say namaste and thank you. Stop the recording. Now, this is the actual flow that they will go through. Now, the reflection questions. These questions can, you can actually put it on a sheet of paper, an A4 size sheet of paper, and you can sort of, fold it in quarter or half and write the questions for them on that, and they can read it. If you're doing that, you need to have it ready before the exam and put on a chair next to them so they can pick it up and read it. Or the person who is filming can read the reflection questions to them. So if you're filming it, you stand at the back and you can say, what did you enjoy about the performances you have just given? And then the child answers the question. Now, if you are doing that, make sure you are heard clearly, but you are not seen at all. Please be very, very sure about that you are not seen at all. In fact, a very important point that I'd like to bring up for all of you is that during the recording, the person who is recording should not be heard whatsoever except for this, if necessary. No prompts, no sound of another human being should come in, because it sounds like you're helping and the whole exam will be disqualified. So please make sure that there are no prompts happening while the recording is going on. If this child is reading the question, they read the question, then they give the answer. Don't write the answer on the sheet of paper and make them read it. They have to actually practice saying it. They have to give the answer. So you go through this. What did you enjoy about your performances? What did you decide was the most important moment in either task 1 or 2, which is your story or your poem? Choose one of your performances and talk about what happened in the story or to the character. What piece did you have to practice the most and why? So there are 4 questions. Out of this, choose 2 or 3. I would suggest let them choose 3 and then, play around, give the answers, bring in personal experiences. When I was practicing, I couldn't learn it. It was tough. Or I'll say, but now I really got it and I really love it. When I was doing this, my teacher told me that I should keep, do the deeper voice. So I practiced that. So bring in their personal experiences through this all while they're talking about it. Let them talk about the background of the story and things like that. Some of the stories that are around the world, we saw some of the dances, so they can talk about that, or they could talk about the fact that we looked at the countries and the capitals. So whatever it is, they can actually talk and bring in all their experiences into their answers. There are no wrong answers. For grade 1, you will, some of the questions are the same. What did you do to enjoy, what did you enjoy about the performances you have just given? 2, choose one of the performances and talk about what happened in the story or to the character. Did anything change? Talk about the change in the story, in the plot, or in the behavior of the character. What piece did you have to practice the most and why? Most of them will say their prose pieces because they had to learn it. They had to show the expressions perfectly. They had to stand still and not fidget. So these are the little things that come up. How did you show the audience that what your character felt when you were performing? So first describe what the character felt. The character was happy here, sad there, and then explain how you showed it. And the child will explain it by saying that I used these expressions, that I changed my voice like this. I made it sad. I made it whiny. I went slow, or I went fast because I was really excited and I was loud and full of energy. So you can talk about your voice, the gestures, the actions that you may have used, and the expressions that you use. So that's how you showed what you were performing, how you showed what the character felt. So you can bring these into your answers. Now, I repeat, any two of or three of these four. If they can attempt three, great, they can do two also. The child can read the question, or the person who's filming it can read the question. Please be sure that you're clear when you do that. Each answer should be about 40 seconds to 1 minute. The whole thing should take about 3 or 4 minutes, not more than that, for initial grade and grade 1. No, they never tend to go more than 2.5 minutes. Even 3 minutes, if they can stretch it, that would be lovely. Okay, so these are the reflection questions. Now, when they are going to get ready for the filming, let them wear something that they're very, very comfortable in. A pretty outfit, but don't make it like a wedding outfit, very jazzy. Simple, elegant, something that makes them look very attractive. And initial graders will definitely wear shoes. The first graders, if they're wearing a kurta or a kurti, and then they can wear pants or plazos or leggings, whatever they like at the bottom, they don't need to wear shoes then. If they can, if they want to, but if they don't want to, they don't. Especially the ones who are doing mimes, I would avoid wearing shoes because the performance gets absolutely hampered. So the children who are performing mimes, wear the kurta, kurti, and whatever you're wearing at the bottom, and no shoes. Let them perform without shoes. Now, while you're filming it, if there is small, you see, if there's a mistake, you can stop and you'll have to start the whole filming all over again. You cannot take pauses. It has to go continuously. So if there are very slight, small errors, let the filming continue and just send it in. That there is no problem. So ignore any inconsequential errors. Oh, a couple of things with the dress code. Let something simple, shoes. They've got to wear their shoes and socks. Good shoes, not slippers, not home shoes, no clogs, and no jeans. Please don't wear jeans. Wear pants or a pajama or something, or a pretty dress. For the boys, I would suggest a shirt and a pant would be the best thing. They've got to, just to sort of talk about the clothes, their hair should be away from their face so that, you know, I can see the expression. Make sure that they don't have flicks coming in the middle of their eyes and things like that. Pin up their hair neatly. No chunky jewelry, simple studs and things like that. No watches at all. Okay, I think that sort of is how they need to be. Yeah, no AirPods at all either. So these are very important things while they're getting ready. The next thing that you've got to do is now set up for the filming. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is make sure that you've prepped properly. So the room should be set up. You should have sort of, you know, a space. If you look over here, you need to have a clear view and you should be seen completely. If you look at me over here, you can see me from head to toe. So this is how you need to be filmed. A clear space should be available for them to do that. Make sure that when you're filming, if they need, if they need to take a sip of water, you can keep a small bottle of water on the side. The questions can be on a chair next to them, not stuck to them, close enough they can go and get it. But the child has to be in the camera throughout. You cannot have a single moment where the child is not being seen during the recording, which brings me to another very, very important point. The filming has to be continuous. You cannot, at any stage, you cannot, you know, put the, what do you say? Sorry, I'm going to go back to that. That was a small error. I was just checking if it was being recorded this time. At no point can you, I'll go back to this point. Once you've prepped the room, make sure that the filming is continuous. One continuous filming, no stopping and starting, no editing whatsoever. No pausing at all. No stopping, starting, pausing, or editing. It has to be a continuous flow. They have software that can check if the film has been stopped at all. If they find that that's what happened, is the whole exam will be again, it'll be completely disqualified. So make sure that that doesn't happen. Make sure that the room is completely quiet. There is no disturbance. So right now, while I'm doing this, I made sure that everybody was out of the house, or whoever's inside is inside. I've told them not to disturb me. The bell is off, so no bells ringing, no pressure cookers going off, no other little children sounds. So for those 10 minutes, just make sure the house is absolutely peaceful and quiet. Make sure that the sound and lighting is appropriate. So do a camera check first. Now you have to hold the camera in landscape mode. Do not do it portrait mode. Do it landscape mode. It has to be eye level. Okay, so you get it, and no shifting it, zooming in and out. Just absolutely still while it's being recorded like this. Nothing else happening. So if you have a tripod stand, that would be the best thing to hold the camera with. So do a little check. So put your camera, get the position, get the spacing correct. Now the children who are doing mimes, they must make sure like this, that the whole space is seen from the beginning. So you can't sort of in the middle move back and forth. Make sure that the whole space is seen right from the get-go. If they're using a chair, like I said, you sort of have the chair somewhere on the side, so that the children can then pull it forward when they're doing the mime. They put it up here. They say the title of the mime, nothing else. They don't explain the mime. They say the title of the mime, and then they stop their mime. Now, make sure that you can see them all the time. They're not getting cut off from the camera at all. You cannot suddenly disappear from the camera. That would not work at all. So make sure that that happens. So from the beginning, make sure your camera has been positioned correctly. So check the lighting and the sound carefully for all this. Make sure the sound is being picked up when they're moving, if they're standing still, whatever it is, even at the parts where they go soft, it's got to be heard all the time. The lighting should be such that you can actually see all the expressions. Those children who are wearing glasses, if they can perform without the glasses, it would be better. But if it's going to hamper the performance, if they're not able to see, then put the glasses on. But make sure that I can see their expressions. You want to be able to see their eyes, not other things being, sort of coming into the glasses. So try and be careful about that. So this is the entire filming process. Make sure everything is safe and healthy for the children while this is going on. The next thing is, once the filming is done, you will save the film, and you have to be very careful because Trinity has asked for this very categorically. You save it as the child's name _drama in brackets speech and drama _ grade initial for initial grade, grade 1 for grade 1. So as you can see over here, Aisha Mehta _ drama speech and drama _ grade 4. She's put it in like that. Now, for those of you who are tech savvy, if it goes over 1 GB, if you know how to compress it, please compress it and send it, because that will really, really help us a lot. Those of you who can't do, there are a lot of apps to compress these films. But if you're not able to do it, then send it and we will take care of that. But if you can, I'd really appreciate it coming under 1 GB. Email it to this address. Please be very careful. Bhavani Kshetra, BHAVNIKSHETRA .NERDS, NERDS @gmail.com. You will send it to us. We will download it, watch it, and we will upload it to Trinity from this email. So please make sure you send it to this email only. When you're sending the email, on the subject of the email, please write the student's name, the student's grade, and the teacher's name. So if you're with Miss Faride or with Miss Sangeeta or Ammi or Sonali or me, then please write. So for instance, one of my initial graders, Divina Vasa underscore initial grade underscore Miss Nerges Dodhy. No, Miss Nerges. That's fine. Okay. So just send it like that so that for teachers, it's easier for us to identify, because all coming to one email address. So then it gets a little confusing for us to check. So please send this in the subject of the email very clearly. Now, yeah, so send this to us. Please make sure that you send this to us by Sunday, 11th December, the latest. Okay. So this is basically what the whole thing is about. Wish you all the best. And in theatrical terms, break a leg. I'm just going to check. I think I've gone through all the points. It needs to come in recap. It needs to come in latest by Sunday, the 11th of December. 8 minutes for grade initial, 10 minutes for grade 1. It has to be one continuous filming and no prompting by anybody from the back, no other sounds coming from the back. The initial grade will do the introduction, story, poem, reflection, questions, namaste and thank you. Out. Grade 1, introduction, prose, poem or mime, reflection, questions, namaste and thank you. Out. They dress appropriately, smartly, elegantly, in clothes that they enjoy and feel pretty in. I will add that if the girls want to put in a little bit of makeup, they're welcome to do that if they want to look a little pretty. No watches, no chunky jewelry, no AirPods, and the hair should be neatly combed away from the face because we need to see the face very clearly. Prep the room properly, lighting, sound, make sure whatever they need, if they need a chair for the mime, that's there. The questions, if the children are reading it, are available there. The questions should not have the answers. They should not read the answers. They should say the answers. That's very, very important. The room should be perfectly quiet, enough light on the face to see the expressions clearly. The student should be in full height from head to toe all the time. The camera should be at eye level and landscape mode. Very, very important. Okay. Check the camera before starting. Make sure there's enough battery, enough, memory in it so that it doesn't stop in the middle. Okay. I'm just making a note to send to all of you. Yeah, keep the questions handy for the children and send the recording to bhavinikshetra.nerds@gmail.com, properly saved and titled, and the email subject should have the student's name, grade, and teacher's name. So once we do all this, I'm sure everything will go very well. I really would like to thank all of you, and I'm really excited, looking forward to what they do. And I told the kids that if they do this really well, we'll take some of the really good ones, and I might actually finally make a website and put all their recordings on, since we now have it. I've rushed through this a bit because I think you just need to sort of, just need to brush up on this because most of you have attended the meeting. If there are any questions, please call either any of your teachers, call me, call Faride, call Aisha. We will be sending all the details in the WhatsApp group after this, the telephone numbers. So you can call any of us if you have any questions whatsoever. Aisha is, of course, our doyen and expert at all the technical aspects also. And she knows the syllabus inside out. So she will be very, very, very happy to help all of you. So please do get in touch, and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.